So you broke an axle. Well, this one's in 3 pieces. So there's the part that's still in the hub, there's the part that's still in the transmission, and then there's this middle piece right here. So the first step, get the car up off the ground, obviously. Pull off the wheel, and then you're gonna need a 1 1/4 socket, which I'm not sure what it works out to be metric. Might be around 30 millimeters, 28 to 30 millimeters. This can be one of the harder parts of this job. So there's 2 hard parts. One is getting this nut off sometimes, and the other part is getting that part out of the transmission. This is staked, which means that there's bent down. I've already kind of unstaked it a little bit. So they basically bend the metal into this notch there. There's a couple ways to deal with it. Oftentimes, if you don't have a cold punch, you can use a flathead screwdriver, that sacrificial screwdriver, get in there and then hammer it in, and then hammer it in at an angle like this to push that notch out. Then, if you're lucky, your impact will just take this nut right off. All right, there's that. If you're unlucky, what you may have to do, assuming you have a hole here for your hub, you put the wheel back on, and just loosely with a couple of lug nuts, you lower the car back down, and then you're able to access that nut through that hole, and you can get a breaker bar on it. And you have to put the wheel on the ground, obviously, because if you don't, otherwise this will just spin, so you won't be able to break it loose with a breaker bar. There's probably a couple other options. You could probably jam something in the studs, but for me, that's what I tend to do, is just take the wheel, lower back down, and then with the wheel on the ground, that's usually enough friction there to keep the wheel from spinning as you break the nut loose. Now, alright, how's that? At some point, you don't have to do it now, we're going to take off the tie rod, but you don't want to do that until after you've done this, because you don't want this floppy while you're trying to break loose that nut. So one thing that helps is getting the car up, jacked up pretty high. Make sure the jack stay coming up underneath, getting behind the axle. So over this engine mount, this right here is the back of the axle right there. You can get a bar up to that, and then a sledgehammer or a friend. Sledgehammer works a little bit better. You can try this. I was trying it earlier. It didn't quite pop it free, but either a bar or even maybe even a pry bar. Get it up under here. I would show you in a sec, but it's awkward. There we go. Right, so there, and then you're like this, and make sure you're hitting the right thing. Oh, there you go. All right, it fell. Okay. Okay, so that is free. Now, getting the new axle in, you're going to need more room. So we're going to have to undo at least the tie rod, possibly the ball joint here. I haven't even looked at that yet. Hopefully not. And be able to, that way this can really turn independent, and then we can slide the axle in. Hopefully that's how it'll work. You got to remove a cotter pin here. I forgot to film this. A lot of times you can take vice grips and you can grab it and pull it out and yank it through. This particular time, I ended up pulling, basically destroying the backside with the vice grips because it wouldn't come out, and then I just pulled the remainder out this way. It's a 19 millimeter socket. The easiest way is to use an impact if you have one. All right. And then you're probably going to need, sometimes you can just smack this here and it'll pop out. If not, you might need a pickle fork to pop this loose. Sorry, just one person, so I don't have, but yeah, just with the pickle fork, let's pop that loose. So again, it just goes in here and just hammer it, pops out. And now, hopefully, maybe actually this way might be easier to slide the axle in. We'll see. I'll try to do it one-handed here. It's going to be a little bit of a pain, I think. Let me see if I can do this. All right, so I think I got bit by a mosquito. Oh. All right. Oh yeah, that's not easy to do one-handed. All right, so I'm going to try to get this one started first and then tweak this end in to the hub. So I did opt to disconnect the ball joint. So just from the control arm, there's just two bolts and a screw, and then you can just use a pry bar to a 17 millimeter socket for that, and then just gives a straighter shot because I was having trouble lining up. Now on the end of this, it might be hard to see, but there's a flat right here on the threads, and that needs to be lined up there, and doing it at an angle was just really difficult. So hopefully, sorry I can't show it to you. I can't hardly see the flat, but I was able to use the leftover piece. I was able to use this piece to help me find it to some degree, because this was convenient to put in, you know, without all of the other stuff hanging off it, to kind of get me in the right, you know, in the neighborhood. All right, so I got it in. Yeah, it just took a little bit of time lining it up. So now, and it's hard to do one hand, but I can pull this out a fair amount, and I'll just angle this in, push that in, and be able to feed it hopefully through here pretty quick. Yeah, you just adjust the spline position a little bit as you're doing it. It's a little tricky. It's definitely easier if you have a second set of hands. Okay, so I was able to turn this a little bit. Oh, it started to go, I thought. Let's see here. It's a slight angle, I think. There we go. Try to adjust here. There you go. Just tap it in. Oops, that was it on the jack stand. So I'm going to be careful right now. I'm going to reset my jack stand. That popping is that moving a little bit. Looks like my jack stand's sinking. So I'm going to take a second and readjust. All right, now that the nut's sticking through just enough, like I like to throw a little anti-seize on this thing, because if I ever have to do this again, I definitely want it to be as easy as possible. And then, so this will help draw the spindle through the hub more, and then we can button everything else back up. All right, now that this is in, you're going to want to stake it. Ideally, you'd use something like a punch. This one's a little small. This one's a little big, but or even a chisel. If you need to, you can use whatever you have laying around, a screwdriver even, but it's probably going to destroy it. So we'll tack this down, and then we gotta bolt the tie rod up. Actually, I'll do the ball joint first, and then I'll do the tie rod, and then we'll be able to put the car back on the ground. It should be done.